It's your boy RAYMOND, but you can call me Ray 3 Beats, and this is the Hood Adjacent Podcast. This is a podcast for people who didn't let their environment define themselves, for people that have broken boundaries and generational curses, but never forgot where they came from. The Hood Adjacent Podcast starts now. What's going on, everybody? You are tuned in to another episode of the Hood Adjacent Podcast. It's your boy, RAYMOND, but you can call me Ray 3 Beats. How's everybody doing, man? Man, it's been eventful. It's been an eventful week. But first, before we start, I want to give a big shout out to my boy. If you listening to this music right now that's playing, shout outs to my boy Just Eazy. Man, he just he dropped the album, he dropped the EP on I think it was like February, and I'm just now listening to the music, man. What's the song that's playing right now is called One Time by Just Eazy. Man, listen, shouts out to my boy, man, because like I've known this man since like high school, and the way that his music is starting to evolve, me personally, it resonates with me personally because I love what he's doing with his music right now. One thing I love, especially with this song, One Time, he doesn't portray himself as something he's not. That's one thing that I always love about certain people's music. If you portray yourself as real, if you portray yourself as like an honest, genuine person, like that type of music, you know what I'm saying? That type of music resonates with me, and that's what my boy Eazy's been doing. You can see in the video, he's not perpetrating, he's with his family the whole video. You know what I'm saying? He's with his family the whole video, and then the album that he dropped, Micah, a lot of the stuff that he talks about is like, a lot of it has to do with his family, his mom, his dad, rest in peace to him, and it's a genuine album. He shows off, like, you ain't gotta be, you know what I'm saying, you ain't gotta be no thug, you ain't gotta be no hood dude to you know, to do music. You ain't gotta be all that. But yeah, shouts out to him. There's like 3 songs that I was listening to. It was One Time, and also shout out 10K for producing him. It's kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's kind of hot. So shouts out to him. Shouts out to everybody that I seen on the project. Shout out to Pooch. Shout out to King Phoenix. Shout out to 10K. If I'm missing anybody, I'm sorry, but shouts out to y'all for a dope album and helping out my boy Eazy. Another song that he had, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna hold you. Another song that he had that kind of got me was I think it was called Letter to My Daughter. I was like, ooh, because I got a daughter myself. So hearing that, I think to me it was so dope to hear that, especially from a black man, because you know what I'm saying, you don't hear that from us all that often. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear that from us all that often. So like being able to like listen and hear his story about his mom, his kids, his father, and stuff, and his family. That's dope. You don't hear that much, bro. You don't. So I'm like, if y'all have a chance, and I'll put the link in the description. Go listen to my boy Just Eazy's project, Micah. It's like that. I ain't gonna lie to you. And also, if you ever wanted to get your music on this platform, on the Hood Adjacent Podcast, so I can review it and be able to listen to it and things like that, just hit me up on all my social media. You can hit me up on Instagram at Ray3Beats or hood.adjacent.podcast. You drop it, you never know. You might see it. I mean, you might see it or you might hear it on the podcast. You never know. You never know. You might get you might see it on the podcast, you know. But I digress. Let's get this started, man. Welcome to the hood. Like I said, welcome to the Hood Adjacent podcast. A lot has been going on. I know. Y'all are gonna say something about me being gone for 2 weeks. I know this. But let me tell y'all, because y'all think that those 2 weeks I wasn't podcasting, right? Like I was just doing my own thing. I wasn't. So, first off, because I couldn't tell y'all this the last episode, shout out to Ace Boog. I actually am now collaborating with 3 other podcasts to make one big podcast on Peoria's hottest station, 90.7 FM, strictly hip hop. Yes, we are on the radio now. Yes, sir. We are on the radio now on Sundays at 8 p.m. Every Sunday, 8 p.m. It is called For the Record Podcast. So it is a collaboration of the Hood Adjacent Podcast. It is a collaboration with the Pretty Inclined Podcast. Shouts out to Taisha Lashane Wanajay from that podcast. It is a collaboration with the Young and Reckless podcast. Shout out to Keisha over there. And it is a collaboration with the For the Record podcast. Shout out to Mitch and Ace Boog. So it's pretty much the podcast Avengers. So if you want to keep up with us, you can hear us on 90.7 FM, and we're gonna be dropping videos, collaborative videos on YouTube and I will definitely let y'all know when it comes out. So like it's stuff has been rolling, man. Stuff has been rolling. But along with that, there has been a few, not gonna lie to y'all, it's been a few things that has been like different in my life. It is a pretty decent life change, man. So last week, about like 10 days ago, I actually ended up quitting my day job to try and pursue this media, podcast, videography, photography, and music full time. Yes, I'm trying to take the plunge, man. I feel like it's time. And God has been telling me for a long time to do this, but I guess I just wasn't listening to him when he told me to do it. But I feel like it's kind of my time. It's kind of my time to do this, and what better time than the present? I know there's a lot of stuff going on, especially in this country, but I feel like this is my calling, man. I really feel like this is my calling. And all the work that I've put in, all the effort that I've put in for my own business and for my own like stuff, I feel like it's time to give like myself that space. You know what I mean? Because nobody else will give me that space unless I take that space for myself. And not gonna lie, it's a little nerve-wracking. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. It's a little bit nerve-wracking to try and to put yourself out there and do your own thing. But I feel like it's gonna be good in the end. I'm a person that likes small victories, so I feel I consider this a small victory. But bro, the journey before, ooh. It was a journey, but yeah, I'm taking the plunge. I'm listening to God and taking the plunge and doing my own thing. Now I will still be doing like stuff on the side, but like not not necessarily a 9 to 5. Just doing my just trying to build my own business. So It's exciting. I ain't gonna lie to you, and I'm not gonna lie. When I put in my notice at my day job, bro, the feeling of freedom that I had after I left it. Now, disclaimer: this was a really good job that I was at. I was I was working with kids. I was a creative assistant. I was doing marketing, things like that, which was cool. It was a lot. It was a lot, but it was cool. I liked it. It was just that time to focus on my goals, my dreams, my aspirations, and I was given the tools from that job to, know what I'm saying, move forward. So the shouts out to my old job. So it ain't no animosity and no hate over there. So I'm it was just that time, and guys telling me to go, so I'm gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, um, on to my next topic. And this one is how could I put this? All right, ladies, I'm talking to you. Um, I'm gonna be honest here. When you call a man a short king, I'm gonna be honest. It's a little condescending. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It is. It's a little condescending when you tell a guy that when you call a guy a short king. It. How could I put this? How could I put this? Because I'm like on the cusp of short. I'm at or on the cusp of short king. I'm only 5'7", so I'm average, slightly below average, but like at the average, pretty close to average height. So when a woman says like calls a man a short king, it's kind of like the equivalent of oh, you cute for a big girl. It gives off that same type of energy. You know what I mean? It gives off that, oh, I've never dated a black girl, but you're cute for a black girl. Like you I hope y'all get what I'm saying, cuz it gives off that type of energy. So ladies, cool it on the whole short king thing. We got to figure out something else to call it. I know that was it a drink or something like that, or it was something in the fast food industry that they called a short king, and I was like, and a lot of people was like, oh, y'all trying to play, huh? Y'all playing games. I don't know. It just doesn't. I know a lot of people think that it's a compliment, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about somebody calling me a short king. It's just not a. It's not one of those things that I would want to be called. Just call me a king or something like that. Just or something like that. Just call me a king. King sounds better than short king. I mean, I'm just saying. But anyway, next on to the next topic, which is I didn't even give y'all the word of the day. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even give y'all words of encouragement. So reeling back to me like putting in my notice for my job and leaving for my own uh business. Here's my advice to y'all. It's okay to take the plunge for yourself. It is okay to try and accomplish your own dreams, your own goals, and your own aspirations. Because if you don't, who else will? You know what I'm saying? Who else will? Nobody's gonna believe in your goals or your dreams if it's not you. Nobody's gonna believe it if you don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna believe your dreams if you don't believe your own dreams. So that's a big thing for a lot of people, and it's a scary thing trying to take that plunge. It's by far one of the scariest things in the world to do. To put away like guaranteed money to accomplish your own dreams, bro. It's scary. It is scary. It is scary. But I guarantee you, like it will. I guarantee you, it will benefit you in the end. You will know a lot more about yourself when you take that plunge and do stuff for you. You know what I mean? You're gonna learn a lot more about yourself, and that's the biggest thing here. Bettering yourself, bettering what you're doing, being a better person, being a better like entrepreneur, stuff like that. That is by far the like that is by far the most like fulfilling thing that you can do. And I'm saying that because I got like during this week of me like leaving, I actually got inspired because I was actually helping at this college fair called Dig'em. Damn, I graduated in May. Shout out to Mark Supreme, man, because he put on an amazing, like an absolutely amazing event. I did the video for it, and me shout out to Reggie, Solo Vision, shout out to all the people that were working on it at the time. Man, it was inspiring. We got to meet people got to meet people that work for the Shade Room, that work for the MTV Video Music Awards, that work for the Chicago White Sox. That's my team. You know what I'm saying? And we got to meet people that are successful in their own craft, which is by far the coolest thing that you could be a part of, man. For real. Like seeing people, especially seeing people like us in their craft doing their thing, that bro, they ain't nothing like it. They ain't nothing like it. So I was a little inspired from that. So like I said, take that plunge. It's okay to take the plunge, because if you take the plunge and you got God on your side, oh, you gonna be good, fam. Yeah, it ain't gonna be troubled waters when you take that plunge. It ain't gonna be. It's gonna be nothing but nice beach water. Know what I'm saying? but that's my advice to everybody. Take the plunge, man. It's okay. Take that plunge. Now we are on to like what's going on in pop culture and today's culture. So, the election is over. The stressful but election is over, and Donald Trump, it will be our 47th president of the United States. I'm not gonna lie, this election has been strange. It is to say the least. It has been strange. But yeah, Donald Trump is our 47th president. So we're gonna see what happens with America when he gets into office. Maybe it'll be good. Hopefully he don't tear stuff up. You know what I'm saying? So like somebody said, somebody told me, and I thought it was the funniest thing. He said, you can be anything in America when a 4-time convicted felon with 3 baby mamas can be the president of the United States. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. That's kind of true. If a man with 4 convicted felonies, indictments on him, 3 baby mamas, and a few failed businesses can be the president of the United States, you can be anything in America. I ain't gonna lie to you. So, like, he had a point. So we gonna see. We gonna see. And Mary, I guess it's gonna be like what you make it. And this election was weird, but it also shows that voting or lack thereof definitely matters. It does. Voting definitely matters, and we obviously we've seen it on the on this year's election. So another thing that has happened this week. Rich homie thug in the mom. Your boy Young Thug is finally free. He is out, people. He has I wouldn't say he beat the RICO charges, but he is on 15-year. He's on a 15-year probation, so he cannot make any. So for his probation, he cannot make any music that talks about drugs, guns, things like that, gang activity. He can't rap about that anymore. But I mean, he's out. 15 years is a lot for probation. But hey, my boy, hey, he's out. He's out. And he also has to do like charity work and like free concerts and stuff like that, like charity concerts and things like that. So, I mean, it's better than being in the pen. I ain't gonna lie to you. And Thug has made some good music. I ain't gonna lie to you. Lifestyle, one of my favorite songs from him is Wyclef John. Hey, it's a bop. It's a bop. I ain't go. And he made a 2K classic. I forgot what it was called. I think it's called Good Time. He made a 2K classic. I can't even hold you. It's a classic. If you play that song, I automatically think of 2K. So shouts out to Young Thug. He's out and about now, sort of, kind of. Mariah, keep him in check. Make sure you don't do nothing stupid. You know what I'm saying? to lock himself back up. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of room for error, and we don't want you back in the jail, my boy. So stay in the house with Mariah. Y'all just chill in the house. But yeah, man, he definitely made a 2K classic. Speaking of 2K, that this is a good transition time for this topic. Speaking of 2K, I know us as black people, now I'm talking to my black man. I know as black men, we kind of get stereotyped and put in a box. It's like, oh, you're this type of person. We are only this type of person. But we all know that's not true. And I had a theory, and it's just a basic generalization theory. But I thought it was kind of funny, so I wrote it down and wanted to share it with y'all. So in 2K, when you are doing your My Player, you have a certain build, or if you do Madden, you have a certain build. Specifically 2K, but in 2K you have a certain build for your player, right? You're either like a two-way, a defender, a penetrator, like a 3-point specialist, something like that. Well, I actually created 2K builds for black men. Listen, hold on. Hold on. I know. It sounds weird, but this is my theory. For the most part, not everybody. I'm not generalizing anybody, but in my mind, there are 5 different builds of a black man. So let me go over the 5 different builds of the black man. Know what I'm saying? So the first type of black man is the scholar. Now, with the scholar, this man is the epitome of bookworm. He's brains, logical thinking, things like that. We know this guy. We know this black guy. We know this. We know him. Athleticism, it ain't really there, but he makes up for it with his mind. He makes up for it with his brain, which is the best muscle you can have. Know what I'm saying? I know it's not a muscle, but it's the best org you can have. Brains. Know what I'm saying? It always gets you in good situations. So, athleticism isn't there. Now, if you max out this build, if you max out the scholar build, the best that this scholar can be: engineers, doctors, lawyers, business people, stuff like that. That when you max them out, that's what they be. If you don't max them out and they're at their lowest, they at like a 56, 55 overall, I'm gonna be honest with you. The type of person that is one, he's either he's a crazy person, a pervert, or he bashes his own kind. I mean, like it's one of the three. So the highest, engineer, doctor, lawyer, stuff like that. Lowest, we know, and we know that guy. We know that guy, or the guy that sits in his basement all day playing on the PC. He's that, like, if you don't max him out, he's that guy. He knows everything. He knows everything about the game. He knows everything about technology, but he's in the basement of his mama's house playing the game. Know what I'm saying? So that's the first build. The first build is the scholar, the bookworm. You know what I'm saying? Now the second build, I'm gonna be honest, the second build is almost the complete opposite of the scholar. And this one, we gonna call this build Man. We gonna call this build Man. The reason why I call him Man is this is your typical project baby. You know what I'm saying? He's grew up in the hood. He's cool with everybody. Athleticism is through the roof. And we all know this kid. Athleticism is through the roof. This the boy that can fight real good. Know what I'm saying? This the boy that can throw them things. So that's Man's archetype. Pretty charismatic. School wise, he ain't the greatest at school. If he goes to school, he ain't the greatest at it. But I mean, I guess he can skirt by. He can skirt by with being charismatic. Now, one of the negative things about him is he's a hothead. Let's be honest. If you piss him off, he's a hothead. I mean, he gonna throw them with you, and you might get knocked out. I'm not gonna lie to you. So at the highest, if you max out this build would be your typical entrepreneur or athlete, because with Man gotta hustle out of this world. Listen, he can sell salt to a snail. Like this is him. This is Man right here. He has that way of talk, and he gets the females too. So like at his highest attribute, Man is an entrepreneur, athlete, rapper, or like you get what I'm saying. Now at his lowest, if you don't max out this build, he's a YN. I'm going to be honest with you. This man is a menace to society is what he would be. I'm going to be honest with you. He is a menace to society if you don't max out this man's build. So, and you know exactly who we talking about, man. You know exactly who we talk. You know exactly who we talking about. So if you max out the Man build, you'll get somebody like a Duke Dennis. Like that's the best way I can think of it. If you max out that attribute, you'll have somebody like a Duke Dennis, like a Jay-Z, like people like that. Know what I'm saying? If you don't, it's the same man still in your car. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's the same man still in your car. So so now we got the two builds. We got the scholar and we got Man. Now the third build is near and dear to my heart because I fit closer into this one. I know a lot of us are a mix of these builds. So the third one is the creative build. Now that with the creative build, he has decent smarts. He's pretty smart. Like he'll get like straight B's, B pluses, stuff like that. Like he might be on the honor roll. He might be very close to the honor roll. He's that kid. He's okay at being an athlete. Like he plays sports. He probably don't start or nothing like that, but he plays. He plays. Um, his biggest attribute is his creativity, artistry, and then this is the build that's also low key funny. He's funny without trying to be funny, and we all know that guy. Like we all got that homeboy that's like funny as I don't know what, but he doesn't know that he's funny. He's funny by accident, you know what I'm saying? So that's how the creative build it works. So a negative thing with him is this build has this build has ADHD. Like he's let's be honest here. He cannot pay attention for nothing. He cannot pay attention for anything. So with that build, that's his Achilles heel. So if you max out this attribute, with this attribute, the highest they could be is they are by far one of the best. They would be one of the best artists, creatives, entrepreneur. These are the people that kind of like these are the people that like own media companies. You know what I'm saying? Like you would see them as like a Tyler Perry, a Jerry Lorenzo, like stuff like they're like people like that. That's where the creatives is. Now on the opposite end, if you don't max out these attributes, these are they go one of two ways if you don't max them out. They either a bum or a drug dealer. For some reason, I don't know why, but the creatives, they know where that stuff is at. You know what I'm saying? They know where to get that good. You know what I'm saying? So so at his highest, like I said, creative, like production manager, video, like stuff like that. At his lowest, bum or drug dealer. I'ma be real with you. I'ma be honest with you. Now the next build is a lot of people aren't like they don't want to say that they are this build, but there's a lot of y'all that are this build. And that's the Suburbs kid. That's the Suburb baby. Now with the Suburb baby, let me explain. Suburb baby, he got smarts. He's pretty good at sports, but where he maxes out at is opportunities because he's surrounded by people that will give him the max amount of opportunities that he can get. It's just up. The thing is, it's just up to him to take them opportunities. You know what I mean? He's very close to like he's very close to the scholar. Now this like. The scholar and the suburbs kid kind of sometimes they go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Their social battery, sometimes it gets, how can I put this? They're social, but sometimes they're awkward social. You know what I mean? Especially around their own people. You know what I'm saying? They get a little awkward around their own people, but they show love and stuff like that. Now, at the highest, if you max out this one, ooh, manager, owner, like stuff like that, like like general manager, CEO, stuff like that. That suburban kid, that's usually where they hit. You know what I'm saying? Now at the lowest, ooh, and this one can go two ways too. So they can either be at their lowest. It can either be like the scholar, which they bash their own people because they in the suburbs, they don't really be around their own people, or they are the fake thugs. At the lowest, that's what the suburbs kid is, and we know this kid. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Let's be real right now. We know this kid. We know the fake thug. Like he perpetrates like he from somewhere where he's not. Like he perpetrates like he's from like he's from Chicago where he's really from Naperville. You know, yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like he's that build. He's that build. So the last build that we are going to go over is the funny man, aka the class clown. Now, with the funny man, the class clown, this is probably the most charismatic out of the five. They're smart when they want to be. They are very smart when they want to be a decent athlete, but what they lack in athleticism and things like that is they're very, very, very charismatic. People love them. Now at the negative side, they get on people's nerves. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes they get on people's nerves and they start a fight. Sometimes this is not the person that you want on the 2-man with you. You know what I mean? This is probably not the person that's on the two that you want the 2-man with. So that he could get you with the females, but it probably ain't the one that you want to have the 2-man with. Now, for them, they're at their highest, they're the entertainer. They would be either great, they would be at the highest, if you max them out, entertainer or politics, because they know how to talk themselves in and out of situations, which is amazing. Now at their lowest, they the nigga on the porch. I'm gonna be honest, they the nigga on the porch talking stuff with a beer in their hand. I'm gonna be real with you. But yeah, man, that's the 5 archetypes that you see on a daily basis when it comes to black men. So, like I said, scholar at the highest, the man is a doctor, a lawyer, a engineer, stuff like that. At his lowest, pervert, dude in the basement with his mama, watching anime, playing the video games all day and not doing nothing. That's at their worst. Man, at his best, he is an entrepreneur. He's a rapper. He's an athlete. He beat the odds. Know what I'm saying? At their highest, maxed out. At his lowest, YN. YN. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like they're YNs. Like at their lowest, YNs are drug dealers. So next would be creative. At his highest, they would be a producer, artist, things like that. At their lowest, bummer drug dealer. Let's be honest, sitting there either living in a car or selling at work. You know what I'm saying? Suburbs kid. At their highest, they're like managers, owners, stuff like that, CEOs. At their worst, they are the person that bashes their own people or the fake thugs. And last but not least, the funny man, which like at their highest, maxed out, entertainer or politician. At their lowest, just a nigga on the porch talking stuff with a beer in his hand. So I know it just came to my head, man. I'm gonna be honest. That those are archetypes came to my head. That 2K build of black man came to my head. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. Man, it has been it's been a great pod this week, man. Like I said earlier, shouts out to For the Record podcast. If you want to hear me and more of the and more podcasts, tune in to 90.7 FM strictly hip hop for more content and stuff like that. And also, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff for me, man, because Hood Adjacent Podcast is only going up from here. There's gonna be actually more events that the Hood Adjacent Podcast and For the Record Podcast is gonna be on. So please stay tuned. Know what I'm saying? Shout out to For the Record, shout out to Pretty Inclined, shout out to the Young and Reckless podcast. It has been your boy RAYMOND, but you can call me Ray 3 Beats, and we are out. Peace, y'all.